All right, guys, this is the first ever show, the TopLobsta Show. I guess that's what I'm going to call it now. This show is not going to be like Tower Gang. It's not going to be like Break the Cycle. It's not going to be like Liberty Lockdown. It's going to be more like Tony Merkel and Tinfoil Hat, where we talk about not just the paranormal, but anything in that realm that interests me. Anything down the rabbit hole of like Genesis 6 all the way to aliens, or any kind of, like, if you got a creepy story, I want to talk to you. So without further ado, she's already in the shot. This is not like a secret reveal. This is my Titi Miriam.
Hi.
Okay. I guess that's what we're going to call you.
Yes.
That's what I call
Titi
her.
Miriam, this is what it is.
Titi Miriam, yes. And she's been my aunt for my whole life. Crazy. And I guess, like, and I don't know, I was like a teenager or something like that. I heard this story.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
About 12 or 13, I would think.
Is that when it happened to you?
Yeah, it had to been at least 30 years or 28 to 30 years.
Oh, so almost as old as me. That's interesting.
Maybe a little, you were. Yeah, I think you were younger than that because.
Okay, we're just.
I don't even know what year how old am I? 50?
50,
54.
yeah.
And I had to been in my 20s, like 27, 28. So that's like give or take about.
Yeah, what do you say, 54?
20-something years.
Everybody's realizing how stupid we are.
Because I'm like, what year are we in? And what
it's like, yo, Dave, could you just pull out the calculator?
It's like about at least 25 years or.
Yeah, so obviously,
something like that.
Like you guys withheld it from me as a child because that's kind of psychotic.
It's something, so you talk about. I barely talk about it as much because it feels like the more you talk about it, the more shit comes, or it comes to you, it comes in your head. But
so did you have this? You had this thing before like you went back to Grandma Lola's?
I never had it until I had it in Puerto Rico, and once I had it, it followed me, and now it's just something I have, and
still to this day.
Yeah, to this day, and it's always in my house. It's always somebody, not the same one. I don't know who, but what. It's like, if you ask me, I think I got a freaking portal somewhere in my house because it's always something different or something. That's why I think Chase always gets nervous, barking and crazy stuff. Sometimes in the middle of the night, he comes out and he barks, and I'm like, shh. And then all I keep saying is, you don't belong here, you gotta leave. You're not welcome in my house. That's like a pretty normal shit for me every time.
Really?
Yeah.
See, my aunt's the type of person where when you come
spiritual, so it's like it's always.
Well, when you come in Titi Miriam's house, you come in and she turns on. She's a big smile. Yeah. I don't know that you're casting out demons before that. I don't know what you do before that.
I don't know. I think it's just like you said, once you have it and once you know of it, it's like it's there.
And it's just like, how does it feel? Like doom? Like looming over? What is that?
I don't know. I'm so used to it. To me, it's like in everyday life.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing to me no more. It's like when I notice it's there, I just get goosebumps and whatever. And I have a feeling I know somebody's around. Like you could feel the presence. You could feel it. You just know.
Would you say it's the same presence as like when you first started noticing this 20-something years ago?
Well,
or has it changed?
I was younger, so I didn't know about that life.
Just tell me from the beginning. I think it would be because it's good.
Like, what's going
it's
on?
good podcasting, but it's like I feel like we're just giving this person a boner and not letting them come. We're like talking about this, and they're like, "What could they be talking about?" Yeah. Does she have AIDS? What is
No.
They're like, "All right, tell the story from the beginning."
Spiritual effect on Well, years ago, which I would believe had to be 20-something years ago. Can't really, really tell exactly what years, but it was 20-something years ago, I would say. And I lived in this apartment in Puerto Rico. I never knew because, like, I wasn't alert for it. I never experienced anything like that. But I always felt to be home and locked in.
Like depressed?
Yeah, like just to be alone.
And it's a weird. So have you always
And
been?
it's weird for me because
You've always been like that.
I always been very open, very outgoing.
Yeah, like your whole life since
Yeah,
like 15. How since you were a baby?
Forever, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
raised with all my
You're the
siblings
youngest.
and yeah.
Yeah.
So I had
to the
8
listeners.
siblings and my mother.
Titi Miriam is, like I said in the beginning. She has a very it's like a contagious
Personality.
characteristic personality. Like nobody doesn't like Miriam. Everybody loves Miriam. You have by far, like, since everyone's moved to Florida, you have the most visitors.
Yeah.
Even people that are like not related, they just
They
I'm gonna go with Miriam. It's
Yeah.
like, that's fucking crazy. Like, do you even know
And then
her?
I meet friends.
Yeah, I saw Miriam by the bus stop.
Friends of friends, and they forget their friends, and they become friendly with me, and that's it.
So it's odd for you. It would be odd for you to be like depressed or not outgoing in that way.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't pay no mind. I thought, going through different ages, you change your lifestyle, things. And I was in Puerto Rico, so I'm away from my family. So to me, I thought maybe I'm missing
a little funk.
Didn't pay no mind to it. But then what had happened was my cousin had came to live with me, and she had a little boy. He was at that age, about 2 years old. And he's such a good kid. He was nothing wrong with him. He's in other people's house. He's jumping around. He's happy. He came to my house. Every time he came to my house, he was crying hysterical and wouldn't stop. And then he was always like close to his mother, like on her, like didn't want to let her go, always spraying up
from
her
you,
ass.
not just the house?
From the house, just coming out. He would be near me, but he wasn't that close to me.
Yeah.
Because he was a baby.
He probably like feel some weird energy or something.
Yeah, because kids feel things and kids see things that we don't.
Again, with my kids, they're very shy. My cousin's offset here. It took them a while to warm up to David. When you come in, right away,
Because I have that.
It's just a glow.
Attention,
It's like a yin and yang, man.
Yeah.
You can go mad. You can be like demon or like on the other side of it. It's crazy.
It
Nowhere
is.
in the middle though for Titi Miriam.
No. It's in the middle sometimes. I'm like, But so the kid was always crying, always scared. And he was always peeing on the bed, which he never did. Mm-hmm. So the mother used to always yell at him and fight with him, yell at him because, he was acting up. And she was like, I don't understand what's happening to him. Ever since we moved here, he's changed. And she's like, I said, well, maybe because you were in a friend's house. You were living with your husband at first. You went to a friend's house, and then now you're here. Oh. So I said maybe because so much changes.
A divorce, and then she moved in with you? Okay.
So she got divorced. She moved in with a friend for a while.
Here's the theory. Was the husband into witchcraft? Did he put that shit on her?
No.
Okay.
No, they were young kids. They were younger than me.
Yeah.
They were like 17, 18 years old she was then.
In Puerto Rico?
And Puerto Rico, either man. So she, one day, she knew about stuff like that. And she used to go to some lady that reads your palm or your cards for you. I never did anything like that. I don't even know nothing of that. That was like a whole new world for me. So she...
Wait, before you go there, so were things happening to you, like where you...
No.
It was, you just went there because she said you had a bad energy, and she thinks she wants to...
Yeah, well, she called the lady, and the lady had... she wasn't in... I'm sitting in the living room, and she was in my bedroom, which was across the living room. So she called the lady, and she was sitting on my bed because my telephone was on my nightstand next to the bed.
This is back in the day when we had
Back in the days when we had the dial-up and the whole ching ching.
And you had a beeper. I remember visiting in Puerto Rico. These guys, they had fucking beepers. Everyone beepers. I was like, this place
cell phones. It was just beepers.
Yeah, Oh man, it was probably better off that. Look at us now. Look at this.
Yeah,
Look at this
now
shit.
look at this
It's fucking
technology we
retarded.
have. It's like amazing.
Before in Puerto Rico, before they're riding on horses, selling peanut butter on the beach with beepers. But
Yep.
all right, so go ahead. So the lady calls and
she called the lady because she felt like something was wrong. So she felt like I should go, not her, not me, her. She felt like she should go and see somebody the lady that she knew, because she wanted to read the cards. She wanted to see what was wrong.
so she was just getting nosy for you. Oh, for herself.
For herself. She was calling for herself. She just was calling. She used to do it. I never did that. I didn't know nothing of it. I didn't even know she was calling her. First of all, she just said, "Can I make a phone call?" And I said, "Sure." She goes. So she's making a phone call, and I'm sitting there with her son, and we're watching cartoons in the living room, and she's in my bedroom, and she's sitting on the bed, but I could see her, like right there. And I look up because I see that she jumped up from the bed and just looked at me, like did one of her head turns and holding the phone like in shock. And I'm looking at her like,
What the hell?
yeah. So I'm just like, what? And looking at her, watching her. And she's going closer, like coming closer to me because, we had the long cord. So she's walking a little closer and she's like, oh my God, and pero in Spanish, ay, Dios mío.
Ay, Dios mío.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. And she's just sitting there. Then she goes and she hangs up and no, she puts the phone down and then she comes to me and then she tells me what was happening. So she's like, the lady's describing you and she don't even know you.
Yeah.
She's like, you're here, you want to make an appointment. Do you want to do an appointment for you or for the lady that's with you? The one with the curly hair and the kind of fair skin, little chunky. And she said, no. Why are you saying that? Because she said, I think she's the one who should come see me. And I think I should read her cards because there's something that's there. And she says, I don't know what it is because I can't go that far. Then that's when she comes and tells me this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, like, what do you mean?
Did it make
something.
sense? Did it make sense after she told you?
No, I was still oblivious to this because I was like, what is she talking about? Like, what do you mean? How the hell did she know me? I said, y'all playing with me, because, oh my God. So she was like, mira, we'll make an appointment and maybe we can go. So I was like, I never did this before. I don't know, what you expect. She goes, no, we could just go. They could read your cards or they could just tell you what's going on. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, if that's what we got to do, that's what we'll do. So she makes the appointment and we go. She makes the appointment, so then when she gets off the phone and she tells me, listen, only thing you can do is just listen to the lady or see what's going on because there's something happening here. My son is, something's wrong. Like every time he comes here, he's afraid and all he does is cry and pee in himself. Whether he's sleeping or he's up, he just pees. So it's something that's got him with fear. So she was like, just go and check it out. So I was like, okay. So we go, a couple of days later, we go to this lady, and we go to this lady's house. And I'm just like, okay, a little scared, a little nervous, a little like, don't know what to expect. You're opening my eyes to a whole world that I did not know.
Yeah, it's startling, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, boom, and then the lady's talking in Spanish, and like, I knew Spanish then, but I was still a little,
If you're going to be talking about, that's high level Spanish.
Yeah. So I was just like, what the hell? So Aidemar had to like translate to me in my way because she was a little too blah, 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 blah. And I was like, ah. So the lady was...
Are you sure everything she was saying was Spanish?
Yeah.
It could be some other shit.
Because I understood some things and then some things I didn't. So, because she was talking really fast.
That's where I'm at now.
Puerto Ricans talk really fast.
Yeah.
So I was just like, and I was just learning Spanish. So some words were like, what? I heard it before, but I don't really know what it really meant.
Yeah.
So Aydemar was telling me, and she goes, she just wants to read you, like my aura. So she says that my aura seems very well, very, very wonderful. But she sees a darkness, but she couldn't really explain because that's not what she was about. She knows somebody that could dig deeper or try to get it out because there was something dark in the house. There was something, but it wasn't in me.
It's just attached, but
Yes.
not in. Right.
Yes.
So that's why she couldn't make sense of what.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she couldn't, and whatever it was, she could get it out, but not her. So she was trying to say that she knew some other guy that he's really good at this and he can help you. So we had to make an appointment with this guy, which is very hard because he's very popular. Like, this is his shit, you know? And he was very good at what he did. So
Sorry, Dave. Can you just move the food from the table? Sorry,
That's
guys.
just driving him crazy.
Yeah. Brody's going crazy because there's food over here on the table, and I'm very interested in this story.
Look, he's like, what?
Thanks, brother. Just put it in the microwave. Okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
This is not
sorry.
professional.
So she explains to me that this guy will help me out and can help me take whatever was attached to me. So I was like, oh my God.
See,
What is
I remember
happening
the
here?
story only you seeing the guy. I never even heard the part about this lady.
The thing before.
So you
the
went
guy.
from like,
Yeah.
you're climbing up this ladder. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't
And it
even
was-
know.
And it was kind of nerve-wracking, scary, because I'm like, what the hell is this?
This is how I know you're an extrovert, because I would have said no. She would have been like, you want to go see this? I would have said, excuse me, you want to go see this movie? I'm like, fuck you, no. I'm not going out. Titi Miriam was like, yes.
Yeah,
let's do
because
it.
I'm like, if there's something wrong, I want to know. I got to fix it. Because
Okay.
maybe that's why I'm feeling, or maybe that's what my stuff in my life wasn't happening right.
Weird stuff going on.
You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe I need to go check it out and see, because this is a whole new world. This is a whole new thing for me. So, and if this something is bad, I need to fix it because I don't want it.
Sure. Yeah. Your 20s, in your 20s,
Yeah.
right? You're like, yeah, you're ready to start shit up or whatever you're doing.
We make this appointment, and we had to go like early in the morning, like fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, to be there early because there's always a line. And I'm like, fuck, gotta get up early. We gotta go over here. So we go. It's like a couple of days after we send the lady. So we go to this guy. Now, mind you, this is where the fear really came in, because we go to this house. And I was like, is this fucking for real? Because this house looked like it was torn apart. Like, it was broken. Like, it looked like a shit shack. Like, outside was, like, old and broken down. And there was a lot of people outside, you know. And people were coming, and I was like, what the hell is this? We had to sit on the stairs. We sit on the stairs. I sit on the stairs. I had a bag, my purse. I put the purse down. And the kid is like, had to go to, somebody was coming to meet us at that place to take him away, you know, to take him.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't bring him with us.
Yeah.
But she couldn't take somebody at that moment. But we had to get there early to wait on the line. So the kid is crying, and he wants to, you know, he wants to sleep. It was early. So they finally come and they get him. We take the bag, I put it down on the floor, my purse, and I put it down on the floor. And we're getting ready. All of a sudden, I take the purse and I put it on my lap. I put it on my lap, there's shit on it. So I was like, fuck, like bird shit or some kind of shit. I don't know, but it was there. So I take the bag and I'm like, notice on my clothes. So I was like, get a wipey, wipe it down. And I'm like, fuck, I got a thing. So the man is like, that means good luck. And I was like, no. This sucks. But we go in. So now it's like our turn to go in. Skip the story a little. It's our turn to go in. We go in, and I see this house, and it's like, I don't know if you ever been to Uncle Charlie's house. Charlie's house.
Oh yeah.
How he's always had things
Like a
piled
hoarder.
up and hoarded.
Yeah.
Well, was it, but tenfold. And then in the middle of the floor, everything was like piled up.
But there's a space.
Broken chairs, broken things, like things just hoarding, like you hoarded
Yeah.
stuff and things that make no sense. And it was all surrounded around the house. And then in the middle, there was like this big hole on the floor. Like if you go in, you're going in. And I was like, what? We had to walk around.
The fuck?
The wooden floors. And it was so,
But a hole to like the
Weird.
basement? Like what the hell?
no, like a hole in the floor. Like
Oh, they did. It wasn't like it was just a hole in the floor.
it was, and the wood was so old. And everything looked just so like dark in there, weird. And
Hold on. Quick question. How much did he charge you?
I don't even remember. It wasn't, I think she paid. So I don't even remember.
Because
It
like,
wasn't-
if he had a line full of people, this guy's caking it, and he got a broken house.
Yeah, no, but he was doing his thing. I don't think he charged like an arm and a leg, but he charged.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know, he charged you, but not like hundreds. Like it wasn't something blowing. I think we both kind of, I can't even remember the price or anything. But, and it was a few towns down. But the place looked at raggedy. The rooms, everything, and it was kind of dark, and everything was like hoarded and old and just so
Yeah.
weird. And some people were in like in a waiting area inside and stuff, and I was like, "Where the hell did she take me? And what the hell is going on in here?"
And still, you didn't leave.
No, I was just
You're in it for the
yeah.
ride.
Because now I'm like, "What is happening?"
I'd have been
What
like,
is
"I'm
curious?
out,
What
bitch."
is this? I should have, but I didn't.
Yeah. You got a good story out of it, I guess.
Yeah, it was just weird. It was just weird. And I'm like, you should always safe. Is this good? And she's like, it's okay. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. So I'm like, okay. We sit down in this little area. And then we were up next. So now the guy calls us in. When it's our turn, he calls us in. And I'm looking at him. We're in this room, like a bedroom. But it was a small bedroom. And then in the small bedroom, it had like all these Santeria stuff, crosses and saints, you know, all this Santeria stuff, all this religious stuff. Waters and
Candles and shit like that.
all this stuff. All kinds of stuff in the room. And it had like file cabinets on another corner where we was, and there was like the folding chairs here, like about 4 of them for people who were there, or 2 or 3 or whatever. Can't remember. And then one where I was sitting, and he had a desk where he was sitting. And you're sitting on the chair this way, he's facing you. And then he has like this big cup bowl or something. He takes it, and you talking to
What does this guy look like? Like,
I'm old.
if you seen him on the street, would you be like, this guy's a shaman?
I don't think I would.
So he's just like a Puerto Rican dude.
He just looked like a typical guy, but older, and
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, he was just like
How is he dressed? Do you remember?
Puerto Rican style. regular camisa, like, you know, regular.
Flip flops.
I didn't know because he had his foot underneath. So I don't know what he had on his foot, because he was like on a desk.
He couldn't even. Maybe he didn't even have legs. Who fucking knows?
He had legs.
He had legs.
He eventually stood up.
Okay.
But I was not curious about feet or what the hell he had on.
Yeah.
Trust me.
No, I'm curious because I just want to
After
know.
what happened, nothing. It was blank to me.
Okay, so go ahead. Finish.
I'm like,
Sorry.
no, it's okay. See, he sits there and he asks, you know, your name, how you doing? So I tell him. He's looking at me because they observing you or whatever, or feeling my vibe. And he's sitting there and he's all humming and doing his little ceremony. And he's doing, and then as I'm talking, so he's like, you could hit the lotto today. You need to play it. So I'm like, what? I said, I guess that's the shit.
Oh, the bird shit.
On me.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. But after that, conversation that we had during the thing.
The
I forgot.
pleasantries? Yeah.
About the stuff when he started talking about what was happening. I forgot about
So
everything on the
you
lotto.
didn't play the lotto. You fucked up.
Yes, I did.
Fucked up. We could have been in a nicer house.
So he's like talking to me. He goes, "Well, are you married?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm freaking gay, you know. I'm like, I'm not married.
Oh, this is like, was it acceptable back then? How were things?
Yeah, like, you know,
But it wasn't
hitting. It wasn't like,
Were people like outly like married gay?
no.
Was it even legal? I guess some places, right?
No, not really.
Okay.
It was just on the covers, whatever. Like, you know,
How was Puerto Rico about that thing?
it was fine.
There's nobody cares.
There was a lot of gay guys, you know. They were a little bit more open than you would see. It was open, but it wasn't open. Like
They were like doing salsa in the fucking
Yeah.
streets. Okay.
It was.
Yeah.
And they had the drag queens and stuff like that, but it wasn't open like it's open now.
Yeah. Now it's wide open. But okay. So he asked if you're married.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he asked if I was married and how long I was married. I said, I'm not married. And I've never been married. And he goes, well, I see different. And I was like, no, I never was married. I did not marry and I never was. So he started looking at me and like, I guess seeing if I'm lying or something. I don't know. He just stopped. And then he goes, well, I say that somebody's telling me you're married and they're not letting you go. So I'm like, no. Mm-hmm. So he started putting some potion shit on this bowl that he had. And then he's like, so how long you been here for? And I told him, I said, I think about maybe almost close to 2 years or something like that. And he says, you know, have you ever felt anything? I was like, no, never, nothing. So he was like, this is like your first time? I said, yeah. And he's like asking me that if I ever seen anything. And I said, no, nothing. I said, I don't know, nothing.
But you said you were feeling depressed though, but you didn't know why.
Yeah, and then my cousin comes out and says, well, you do feel like you're lonely, you know, like you were alone. And I said, well, yeah, but I don't know exactly what that feeling is.
You moved away from your family.
Yeah.
That's normal, right?
So he just started, and then he started putting something in the bowl or some kind of liquid or something. So then he's like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to cleanse you. So I'm going to get whatever that darkness that you have that's on you, that's saying he don't want to let go, that he's married to you. So I was like, this is crazy. So he started praying and humming, and then all of a sudden I hear a voice, like a deep demon, demonic voice.
You hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? He's like, she's mine, but in Spanish, you know. Ella mía, yo no nunca soltarla. And I'm like, never let me go. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then we were supposed to have our eyes closed, which I had my head down. But when I heard the voice,
Yeah, who's saying it? Yeah.
of course, I'm looking because I'm like, is this a fucking scam? Like, really? And I'm looking around and I'm like, I see the cabinets. And then I'm like, trying to figure out if there's anything
Someone behind there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything is pushed to the wall. And I'm like, this can't be. And then I hear the screaming. And he's screaming, no, suéltala, ella es mía, you know. And he's like, no, ella es mía, she's mine. And he's banging, no. And I'm like, what?
The guy is banging? Or
Yeah, he was banging, fighting with the demon. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm scared as shit. Either my cousin, she's holding on to me, and we're both afraid. So she's like squeezing me in my hand, and I'm like this, and I'm like, what the fuck, like, what is this? She's just like, and I'm like, is this like for real? They're joking with me, or what the hell is this happening here? I'm not understanding. At this point, my nerves, everything just left me. Like I was in shock. I was like in fear. I was like in awe. Like, what is this? I think you're joking with me or somebody's fucking with me or because now my emotions are everywhere because I'm like, I don't know this world. I don't know what's happening to me. And I don't know, is this real or y'all playing or this can't be. And he's screaming and he's fighting and he's doing this shit and he's and some tongues and talking shit and I'm like, and then he started like calming down and he's like, suéltala, suéltala. Then he goes, suéltala. And I'm like, let me the fuck go.
Do I still have to pay this guy?
I just want to go. I don't want to get out of here. I don't know what's happening. And I was scared. I had goosebumps. I had shakes. I had it all because I was scared. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know. After they fought for so long and they're screaming and then you hear the hissing of the demon and shit. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Who's here? And it went on for a while, and I was just scared. And he finally stopped from banging and doing all this.
Do you feel like
thing.
when it was screaming, was it coming from different parts in the room or like right behind you?
It felt like, at first it felt like I said, I was looking at
the guy,
the cabinets.
Okay.
Because it felt like it was coming from that corner. Because he was like, I'm here. He was facing me this way, like on the desk.
Yeah.
Aidemal was here, like from where you at. And then the cabinets were in the corner.
Okay, so it felt like it wasn't coming from this guy because he's over there. So you're like, and did it change though?
Like, because then it sounded like it was all over.
On your shoulder,
like it was just there. And then you could feel the presence because my skin was...
It's like heavy, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, my goosebumps were on all flame.
Yeah,
Every little hairs that I had in my body was standing up that I didn't even know I had hair. Like, it was weird and awkward. And I was like, oh my God. I was scared. I was scared shit out of my life. I was like, what the hell is this? And then I'm in this place that, it was a little room. It was like little. It was a little bedroom. It looked like one of the smallest bedrooms you can have with a whole bunch of shit on it. A whole bunch of stuff.
So crazy.
It was crazy, And it was like an old raggedy house that was falling apart. I'm like, he probably got this place for free because there was no way you're paying rent for this place.
Yeah.
And he just had a spot to do it in, But he had a lot of stuff. He had a lot of furniture and...
Yeah, things.
Yeah, it was like a hoarder. And it was...
What else? Like, how many... She said a line outside the door, right? Like, who else could have brought something else?
That's crazy. It's like... Wait, Dave, we're still recording, right? Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure it doesn't go off. First time I'm doing it. But... Yeah, like it's almost like a ER. Like if you're sick and you go to the ER, you're gonna get more sick. Everyone's fucking sick there. Or I say this about the church too. Like you go to a church and it's not. It's a place for sick people.
Sick people.
Yeah, most of the time.
I felt like you just opened my whole world up.
Me?
No.
Oh, that guy.
That
Yeah.
thing.
I was like, I didn't say anything crazy.
But no.
Don't blame me.
No, not. Because it felt like. Because now, it's like a normal thing. Now I'm not even scared no more things happening. I'm like, I feel a little like agitated.
So after...
Like, you're still here, get away, get out the house here. We go through this shit.
Okay. Well, we have Lily off screen, and she also has a lot of shared experiences with Titi Miriam. But so this happens at that guy's house. And how did, what happens at the end? You just leave?
Then he said a prayer over me. And then he gave me like these witch hazel stuff or some kind of...
Witch hazel? Like the cleaning thing?
But it was like a Palo Santo thing, like one of those, I don't know, Santeria stuff. What do you call those things, those water? I can't
like holy water
name.
thing?
Yeah, like a holy water thing, but for getting things.
Okay.
And then I had to put that under my bed, the water, in a bucket, like in a bowl under my bed. And I had to take a pair of scissors, put it crisscross open in front of like a tree or...
Like by your house?
In front of my house, in the garden. So I had to put the scissors there and dig it in. And I had to clean myself with this other type of liquid water stuff that they call. I can't remember the name of it, but it's very known. But it was something. I don't know. It was some things I had to clean myself. Like I had time I go in the shower, so every day I had to clean myself with this. The other one I had to put under the bed, you know, and I had to take scissors and put it outside.
Did he charge you like ridiculous prices for each item?
No, because you buy it.
Or does insurance cover it?
Yeah, I guess it covers it. I don't know if we paid like 200, 300. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't like thousands, like the craziness, but it was
Enough, yeah.
Oh. And he gave us these things, but it cleaned because the kid was fine afterwards.
Oh, the kid was. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Then after a while, the kid was sleeping in the house, no crying, no problem. He would come in, no problem. He was happy again, so I knew it worked.
And how did you feel?
I was fine. I was back to normal. And then what was funny was every time I put the scissors in the garden, and our uncle come. Theo Maso would come and cut the grass for me because he would come and cut my grass. And he would always take it out and be like, I found patijeras in the grass. Maybe the kid put it there. And I was like, yeah maybe he did.
Keep on contact.
So then he left, and then we told the lady, because we didn't want to we can't call the guy like that. So I told the lady, and the lady's like, just put it back in the same way and say your prayer. So
turn it off and turn it back on again.
And then he comes back next week.
Pick him up.
There's the scissors again.
Yeah.
He goes, sácalo y no lo pongo al lado for the kid. Now, don't put it where the kid can find the scissors because he keeps throwing it in the...
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, you know these kids.
You just got to like come clean with them at some point. Like, listen.
No, years later I did.
What did he say?
He was just like, okay.
Did he remember picking it up?
Yeah.
How many weeks is he picking it? I mean,
he was like, I think 2 weeks.
You only need it for 2 weeks?
By the third week, when I knew he was coming, I took it out. And then I put it back when he...
How long did you keep this up for?
I think it was like 3 weeks or something.
Okay.
It was either 3 weeks or something like that.
I gotta hide this craziness from my family.
It was like, he must have thought, like, what the hell?
Oh, that's funny.
And then I had to clean myself out for a couple of weeks and do all this stuff. But then once we see the kid was normal, he comes in the house, he was normal. He wasn't crying no more. He was sleeping better, and everything was fine. Then we were hanging out, doing everything. I was going out more. I started partying, going back.
So you felt better.
So
wow.
It was good. There was no more. So I was like, okay. And then Uncle Willie, he lived in the house next door.
Oh, so this was right there.
Yeah, he was next to it. So it was Titi's house, then it was the one that I rented from her, and then next door.
Oh shit! I thought you were like across town or something.
No. At first we were here. Then he moved to Thera.
Okay. Yeah.
And then when he had the house next door, he used to say that he felt somebody choking him.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit. I said, it's over there too, because this shit I went through. So then that's when I started telling him, did you see things? He goes, yeah, I see it around the house.
You think it's just, so you weren't living with them? You were just living.
It had to be in that campo area. Like it had to be something there in that.
That's where it originated.
In that area where.
So you think? I wonder if you found the people that were living around, if they tell you like, yeah.
That's how my uncle found out, because I had to go to my aunt after a while and was like, did you rent me a haunted house? Did you have anybody in this house? His name was Victor, because he said, the guy Victor, that was your husband. I was like, no, that wasn't my husband. I'm not married. Wait, someone was there and they died there or something? She said nobody lived there before. She built the house herself. Oh, shit. So how do you know his name is Victor? Because when the guy told me, he says, you married? And I said, no. Oh, he said his name. Married. And he says, this guy said his name is Victor. He said he's married. He said it was a guy? Or did he say it was like something else? He said a guy. God, that's so interesting. He said he's married to you. Okay. And I was like, no. Do you think he was talking about him like a human, like somebody that died and is a ghost, or somebody that is like a demon? It was somebody who knew me, like a guy. And like somebody we knew. So a spirit rather than a demon. Yeah, and then that's when I guess he started praising and putting us stuff in the water and started, because then he started realizing as I'm talking, as he's answering me, asking me,
Yeah.
then he realized this
Oh,
is not
something.
this is something.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm not married, and I'm telling him I never was married. Then he started talking in tongues, and that's when he started throwing the.
Oh, yeah, he's like, something's wrong. So you moved. So you're living next to Uncle Willie, and Uncle Willie tells you that he feels like he's getting choked
Yeah.
at night. And
He said that he felt when because he used to live in that same apartment.
Yeah.
So he said, yeah, when I lived there, they used to felt like somebody was choking me, and he used to wake up with scratches on his neck.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, why you didn't tell me this shit when I moved in it? Because I would have never moved in there. And he was, I don't know, because you don't think nothing.
So you think you think you got away from this thing until you moved back in there?
No, and then when we moved, when he used to live next door to me, he used to say that he used to see it like outside in the windows and stuff. And then that's how we got into a conversation. But then he wound up moving to Sabre.
Okay. And
So
it followed.
when he moved to Sabre, after a while, he was like, Miriam, why don't you come stay with me instead of living in there? Because, this shit is there. So I was like, no, this gone. There's nothing there no
So
more.
this fucking
But,
retard said, "Why don't you come live with me and my demons instead of?"
yeah. So no, then he tells
He's trying
me
to split
go
the
to his
rent,
house.
huh?
So when I go to his house, wherever you go, it's going to follow you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where the hell. So whatever cleanness I had, it must have been with him. Because I went to a place and I got clean. So I didn't feel nothing. So when I moved in with him,
And it started up again.
I could see I went in his room, like in his house, and I'm sleeping, and one day I felt it. So I said, it's here too. So it's either follow me or it's following him. But I come to realize, it followed him because I had gotten clean.
And then just came back to you.
Then it's back, because then it's always there.
That's crazy. What? So it would like mess with you at night?
Yeah. You just kind of feel it. You kind of feel the presence of somebody watching you or somebody near you, or sometimes you feel the bed, like somebody's sitting down on the bed.
Never like scratch. Uncle Willie had the scratches right on his neck.
I never got choked or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
No.
Oh,
The
you're his
closest
wife.
I saw was just somebody in a black, like with a hat, and somebody with a black, how you say, cape or whatever, like clothes, black
Like a
clothes with
shadowy
hat,
figure?
yeah, and it was in black, and it was standing by my bed.
In the garage, she said.
Oh, in the garage. That was now, but I'm talking about in Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
That was in my bed. Now I still see things, and now, like she said, it was in my garage.
Did you try to talk to it when you saw it there, or you just freaked
No,
out?
I freak out, and then I'm like, you don't belong here. You gotta go. You're not welcome.
Yeah.
Then I be having Amy Sawyer that comes to the house, and she be like, oh, I feel shit. And she comes, she starts saging the house, and we start going all crazy. We gotta light candles, and then it's gone. And then I'm like, it's always something new. Somebody new or something new.
So Amy obviously knows about the whole story too. How often would you say, like now, that you're?
I don't know. It just comes. I can't even. This was recently.
Yeah. How long ago?
Like about a month and something, 2 months ago. Yeah.
Well, what happened here? So the garage story. What was that? 2 months ago.
Yeah, I just.
Oh, why don't you come in real quick? I'll edit this out.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. Lily, you're in scene now. Okay. So Titi Miriam was just telling me that they had a shared experience recently, 2 weeks ago.
About 2 months ago.
Yeah. 2 months ago. Okay.
2 months, a little over 2 months.
So go ahead. I want to know.
Well, I had called her because I had a dream with Rob. We had a neighbor. I shouldn't say his name.
Yeah.
But we had a neighbor that died violently at work.
Okay.
There was an explosion. And he burned over 96% of his body.
Oh, so just recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was
Like
a year ago.
Yeah. And it was a year ago by then.
Yes. Yeah.
It was coming to a year of his.
Wow. Oh, that's the one. So you
Yeah.
said right by the pool. It looked all burned. So he died there?
No,
he
he
died
died
in the
in Miami. They took him to the burn center. So he
Okay.
died 3 days after the explosion. So
Yeah.
I had a dream. I was walking by the pool. He was always at the pool, always said hello. And in the dream, I'm walking by and he says, hey, Lo. And I looked, I'm like, who's that? And I was like, Rob? He was like, yeah, I'm back. I thought I'd give this another try. So then I woke up and I called her the next day and I told her about it. And then she told me she saw him in her garage.
Like, I had a dream and I saw somebody that came in my house and I go to open up the back door in the garage and they had a black hoodie on, like, thing. And I was startled. So she was like, this is probably him because he was in your garage.
Yeah, he used to fix your car. Yeah.
So I was like,
for free.
Okay. And then Amy Sawyer had a same experience.
Yeah.
And she said, I had a dream with Lily.
Yeah, they were at Paquino.
At the pool.
And Amy so didn't know it was related.
Yeah.
She said, oh, Lily had a weird dream too. And she said, what was the dream? And she told Amy Swan my dream. And Amy Swan said, wait a minute, I had a dream at the pool with a guy. So it was like a collective experience. And then the woman that bought his house called me, and she had put it up for sale at $50,000 less than she paid for it, because she said that there was something there with her, and she couldn't live there anymore.
Well, do you think that these things are separate, separate events, or is it just like two?
It was separate for us, but it was him reaching out because he knew us all.
No, but I mean, like, nothing to do with your prior thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Just
No, that's separate.
Once that door is open, all kinds of things come.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Once the thing, and now it's like a portal, everything keeps coming.
Yeah.
Because it happens. You're open to it. Now you can see, now you know of this life. So now it's always there.
It's like I don't know if you read the part of the Bible where like God marks Cain after he kills Abel. He's like a marked person. He's touched him, and it's not to say that's like a curse, but it's like you're marked, and whatever is,
and you can see whatever.
Yeah, the stuff that's on this other dimensional level or whatever's going on here. They're like, oh, she's
now you could be
she's marked. I can talk with her. I can.
It's like you're wearing
Touch her.
X-ray glasses.
Yeah.
And they have them too.
And
So it's like, oh, okay, you can see me.
Yeah, but what are these people about? Who knows? I mean, some are bad, and some.
Some
Your
are
neighbor
good.
was just chilling.
Well, I think because of the way he passed, he was having trouble letting go.
Yeah.
And then the wife sold the house quickly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we went and bought 7 candles, and I went to the new owner of the house, and I asked her to come out because I didn't want to go in. And I told her what we were feeling, and she started crying, and she says, I haven't been able to sleep. She said, there's something here with me. And she said, I put the house up for sale. And I said, well, I don't want to sound crazy, but if you want, I can come and sage your house. Yeah. So I came a couple days after that. Right? Yes. And then I asked her to invite me in. And I said, just don't say his name. And we went room to room. And first we did the sage to get rid of the negative spirits. But then Palo Santo clears out all spirits, because I don't think he was negative.
No,
Yeah, he was just
lost.
Yeah, and probably annoying.
And he was appearing where he knew all the people he knew.
Yeah. And then we all lit white candles for
And
7 days.
since we're
And
spiritual
we all said a
about
prayer.
it, we
Yeah.
were able to see it and know it.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy that like 3 separate people can have that event, and then also be like this woke to get together and be like, get the candles,
Yeah, because
Lola, you
when we put
get the scissors.
When we put all the 3 stories together, and it was like,
It made sense.
Something's going on, yeah. But I'm saying most people, they would have told each other and be like, that's crazy. Anyway, and then just done some other shit. These guys are like the Scooby-Doo paranormal. Get in the van.
because when we all 3 get together, something clicks on us.
Yeah.
Something happens to her, something happens to me, it happens to Amy.
Yes.
Not my sister.
Amy Sword.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And then, and after
we all
the
go to the same
sage,
thing.
She took the house back off the market.
Yeah.
3
it
weeks
worked.
later. And she sent
and we were all at
She
peace.
sent me a text thanking us for helping, because she said she slept
Better.
at peace in the house for the first time.
Because you sleep better, because you don't sleep.
Are you guys like homies now?
Yeah.
It's like I saved your life, so like we're homies.
Like grateful, because.
So yeah, so I guess we'll see her at the house party. There, huh?
Yeah. She's been inviting us. We just don't go.
We just
It's like she's cursed. Don't go over there.
you don't go in that house then.
Wow, that is
Yeah. Then you have dreams, and when you have dreams, it all connects.
Yeah.
It just,
But we've even felt Willie.
many times.
yeah. My Uncle Willie, the one that she lived with, he passed about 2 years.
Yeah. And
great.
he'd be in the house all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember hearing you say that, but it's like, oh, Titi Miriam's just joking,
just
just
crazy.
saying crazy
No.
shit.
And
Yeah.
we sort of felt him.
Yeah.
I felt him. He put his hand on my leg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know it's Uncle Willie because it's like,
Yeah, because you
it's
just
kind of
know.
annoying.
It's like the presence. It's like you just know his presence, so you know. It's like weird. I don't know. It's when you open to it, you just know.
Yeah, so you're like a little portal, and it makes sense because, like I said, so let's just say like you're a portal to this other realm or whatever else is going on. But over here in the people realm, you're a portal too. Like I said in the beginning of the show, she's like, Titi Miriam walks in the room, she smiles, and everybody wants and talks to her, and it's like, yeah. So now that they opened up that other side of it, which
Now it's like both worlds, and I'm like, oh my god, it's tiring though.
yeah.
It really is. It gets tiring because it's like it drains you. You're tired. You feel emotions. If you notice, like I'm more calmer than I was back then, because now I feel everybody's emotions. I feel more their.
Yeah, you were kind of
The
wild,
energy.
right? Like when you were younger. Yeah, you and Grandma
It's like a
Lola had
party,
issues.
You know?
Yeah.
No, she just had the issue because I never called her. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know when I was coming home early.
So just maybe not at all.
Just not at all. And she would always fight with me because you don't call, you don't tell me you coming home. I'm like, sometimes I'm too drunk or too stoned. I can't. You know, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Now I can't come home.
Yeah.
I didn't want to call her because I was too drunk. I was too stoned. 'Cause I didn't want her to know that I was when I wasn't supposed to. So I don't call. And then when I didn't call, I was in trouble anyway. So
You ever get anything about Grandma Lola or Uncle Edwin? Because you lived
well,
in the house.
I know moms had the same thing. She could.
You know.
She could feel it and know and tell. She was very wise with that.
Well,
You know what? That makes
who
sense.
else? Alia.
Alia,
Oh, yeah?
She sees
Yeah.
Lola. She sees Willie.
she's very open to that.
She didn't know my uncle passed, and she told her grandma Amy that she needed to send me a video. And then she wasn't doing sign language.
She was young too.
Yeah, she was about. It was
3
years
maybe?
ago. No, it was 3 years ago. So
4?
she was 4.
Okay, you're like 3 or 4.
And she said, I need to make a video for Lily. And then she sent me the video on Messenger, and I just started crying. Because here's this 4-year-old that never met my uncle, didn't know he passed. And she's telling me, she's like, don't worry, he's still around you. He loves you. I was like, I
In
started
sign
bawling.
language, because she
Yeah,
sign language.
yeah.
And Amy didn't understand it, so Amy was like, Alia woke me up and told me this is for Lily. And Amy's like, I don't understand what she's doing here. I don't know.
Would it be
She wasn't
unusual
speaking.
for her to do that to you, though?
Well,
Yeah.
we used to speak in sign language when she was here.
Oh, but like to send you videos, would it that be?
That was the first time.
That was the first.
Okay, yeah, that's very weird.
Yeah, and it was like, because she was sad. So I guess she must have felt her. And she's here, and Alia was in New York.
Yeah.
And she said she was dreaming. She had a dream. But I guess she kind of felt Lily in her dream, or she knows.
Yeah, and
But Alia is very in tuned in that.
she's an old soul.
I feel like a lot of the family is
Oh, yeah.
the same. I mean, I guess I am in a way because I'm
think
interested.
You all are.
Yeah.
You're just not open to it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're really open to it and focused, we all are.
Yeah. But ask the question, how open do you actually want to be? How much do like
I
what
didn't want it, but I got it, and now it's just there. But I ignore it a lot of times
Yeah, you have
because it's very,
does it benefit you
very
at all?
loud.
Yeah. Does it benefit you at all, or is it like more like of a like shit? Now I got this.
Yeah,
So you've never figured
it's
out a way
because
to.
I don't pay it that much mind. Like I don't,
No,
because
what
it can be nerve wracking. It can be scary. It can be a lot.
What I
you
mean
know?
is your openness to this kind of thing, rather than just letting things come at you. Like if you're perceiving it, like can you turn it in a way where it benefits you?
I guess if I study it more or get more in tune to it or learn more about it, I can. But I don't.
You just never even thought about it. Just
Yeah.
leave that alone. Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
YOLO.
it's like,
you don't want to provoke it.
yeah, like,
Right.
I didn't
Yeah.
ask for it, I didn't want it, but it's here.
No, I don't think
So,
that.
I don't know.
I don't think whatever is on you gives you that openness. I think that that's something else. That's there. I think you are open and like perceiving stuff around you. I just wonder if it's like, can you
I'm pretty sure if I really focus on it,
Yeah.
like
Would it enrich you at all? Like, would it help
it
you?
might be able. Maybe that's why I got blessings to do, but I don't.
You just don't want. It's something that like happened, and you kind of want to
Yeah, I just kind of like
push it to the side.
It happens. It happens. I deal with it when it happens, but it's not something that I want to deal with
All the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
You don't
So
wanna
when
make
it's
a
there,
living
it's there. If it's not, it's not. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with it without it.
Yeah. Fair. I don't know. I don't
And
know
then
when I
to
do
a
either.
point where I used to be, scared of it, because it's sometimes, you used to feel them on you and pin you down on your bed, and if you're trying to get up in your dreams and you can't because they got you, they're holding you down, and I'm like, it's kind of like annoying and scary. But now, when that shit happens, I just scream. I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. Get out. You don't belong here.
Not today.
You know?
Not today, Victor.
Because then you get used to it, and then I get annoyed, and then in my sleep, I'm like, damn it.
Hey, I have that.
You know?
Do you feel
It's
like you feel like
different.
you know this thing after so many
Yeah,
years?
it's like, couldn't leave me alone. Can I sleep? Stop fucking with me.
This nigga.
Like, yeah. Yes, that's how it feels like sometimes. So now it's just like, whatever.
That's
And that's why, when I was telling her, I didn't tell you the name because I don't like to use the name.
yeah.
But I said it, but I don't like to use.
Sorry.
No.
See, I asked you to do this because I thought it would. I guess I have to get used to this because I want to talk to more people about stuff like this. But it's like almost making you relive a trauma that, like, when you're like, yeah, I'll do it. And I was like, looking at you, and I was like, you look like you really don't want to. I was
Because
like,
it opens up something, but
yeah, it makes
I
sense
said
now.
it so many times, but now I'm at the point where I can handle it if it's coming. Well, not that I can handle it because you don't want to
Oh, yeah.
challenge me.
Yeah.
But
Well, right now you're just telling a story. You're not provoking. I'm just letting you know. And like before you guys got here, I said this would be. I don't even think we got some recording, but I said I think it would be interesting to talk to, most of the people in my family in this sort of medium where we're recording. We have microphones. It's semi-professional, and instead of like Uncle Sass used to make all those like the pictures with all the people and all that stuff. It's just kind of cool where now we can go back and be like, this was,
it all back.
yeah, show my kids. This was Titi Miriam. This was Lily. And this is what they were about. And it's like, when you show someone a picture, you're like, this is what they were about. Like, okay, yeah, like my grandma, she's standing like this with a rake or something. Grandma Victoria is like, what the fuck is this lady? Yeah. Like no one's smiling.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you're like, oh, I see what Titi Miriam's about, and I know a lot about, not everything,
Yeah,
but
because you don't know if your kids in the future,
yeah.
if they will have that too, because it seems to be very normal in this family. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Amy's house is very like, but Amy does a thing where like,
you see, but Amy
It's
has the
stupid.
same thing, but she just ignores it completely.
that's why
And
when I
think
was
that's
asking her,
why she keeps crazy and always busy, because I don't think she wants to hear the shit in her head
yeah,
or her things.
it's interesting. It seems like the woman on the side of the
And you see,
family,
Nikki's the same way. Nikki could know things, but
the men too. My
she
cousin just
stays
shook his
out
head
of
over
tune
there.
out of it.
Yeah, this family's fucked, guys.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
It's just
Our podcast's over. This family's fucked.
yeah, screwed.
Nah, I make jokes about it. Like
But-
this family is fucked, but in the most hilarious way. Everything is retarded.
Yeah.
And it's like it makes more sense when you think about it. Look,
something all they need
you just
to
reminded
be
me.
home, and they need to find the light. They need to find.
So Titi Miriam is also like in the way, like every one of Grandma's kids has picked up a weird trait from Grandma Lola. Even my mom, I'm sure that's the side that Grandma Lola
Yeah.
pushed away. But one thing Grandma Lola did is, I'm joking, Mom. One thing she did was like if you went to her, and I was a little kid, but it had a problem, and you just go and you lay on her, and she did have that energy. People talk about it, but there's something more sophisticated than just like, oh, she had this thing. Like I'm telling you right now, you're like, I don't know her from Adam. But when I say it, I'm like really serious. Everybody knew it. It's kind of like Miriam. Like she lived in the projects on the first floor, and she would just leave her door open during Christmas, and people would come and celebrate Christmas with us. I don't fucking know these people.
No.
And it's like, this is a bad place. People, I mean, it wasn't as bad, but it was still bad.
But
Like they're
it's still-
shooting, and stabbing, killing each other and shit. And Grandma Lola had her door open. Everybody knew her, and it was just like,
It was
Everybody
like nothing.
came in.
Nobody. There was
Yeah.
mad respect.
It's because there's an energy.
No, but
house.
She gave off a strong energy. A lot of people give off good energy, but it was strong. And the same way I described with you, but your energy is more like, it's like hers was more like, come and relax, take some shit off, sit down. Your energy is like, you have that, but also very like alcohol. You make me feel happy rather than like this is like calm, like, you know what I mean? But it's the same sort of like,
It's like a calm and active at the same time.
yeah, all the women.
That's because I was younger. Now I'm like, calm down, baby, calm down.
Yeah, definitely. She slowed down in her old age. Oh man,
It's crazy.
yeah, it's a very interesting. But to recap, what I was saying is, I think it's a nice time capsule. I'm gonna go through. I want to talk to other people. I guess. Do you have anything else for like the story? Because
I don't know. There's just incidents like stuff like that.
Yeah.
happened, so.
Well, when little Willie came to get his dad's things,
When he came to get, like, when we knew Willie was in the house.
Willie was angry.
When Willie was in the house, we had a Pequeno night, was it? Right? Or we were just gathering. No, it was a
It was
Pequeno night.
Pequeno night, yeah.
And we had, all of us girls were there. And
Little
Willie
Willie
Jr.
came to
get all
his
his
dad's
stuff
things,
from the garage. That's how we knew Willie was in the house, because Amy saw
Well,
him.
we knew before that.
Yeah, we knew, but
Amy
we
Sol
didn't
felt
think it was so. Amy Sol is one who feels things too and sees a lot. So she was there, and all of a sudden, it's Florida, we're hot, you know. She started feeling cold.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden, like obsessively cold. Like she had her
A sweater
her
and a
sweater,
hat.
a hat. She had two sweaters on.
She
I
was
think
shivering. Yeah.
And then she had my blanket on her, one of the blankets from the living room. And then she had a hat on, and she's sitting there like it was
It's a
like
winter.
we were in New York and
Yeah.
shit, you know, freezing.
And all the
And
girls were
she had to get
agitated.
tea.
We
and,
never fight with each other.
Yeah.
Everybody was picking at each other.
Yeah. We were
And she
all
was like,
on the
somebody's
edge.
here.
And then she said, somebody's here. And she got up and she started pacing. And then she ran outside to get warm or just to go outside because it was too much for her, because she felt it like extremely.
I always wonder what you guys do at this kind of like these girl things. I'm like, they probably just play Pequeno. It's fucking boring. They're like, no, we're like fighting ghosts. I'm coming over. I'm coming over next time.
Bring it back.
Yes. You never know what you get.
So she
She
walks
started-
outside.
Yes, because she had to calm down because she was away too
We
much.
wound up pausing Pequeno,
And-
and Maria and I went to Publix to get the white candles.
Yeah.
And we all lit
Because she comes.
So you can just any candles, Publix.
Yeah, it was the white ones.
Yeah.
white ones.
Winn-Dixie's good too.
If they sell them.
They sell them everywhere. The white candles.
Okay.
They come in the big long jar. White candles.
Now I'm gonna see the shit. I've never seen it in the store, but now
see
It was in the
Fuck what you
house
heard,
many
you're gonna
times.
see it.
You see it in the house, and we had to put a cross on it and light it up for a whole 7 days.
It
does
has
my
to stay
mom
lit
know?
for 7
Does she know
days.
about this
No.
shit? Okay, I'm not. Well, she might watch
You're gonna
this.
hear this now, but
Okay, this is gonna be very interesting.
So Amy Sol.
I'm gonna do a
comes back
podcast.
out.
I'm gonna do a podcast of my mom watching this podcast. It's just gonna be another
She's gonna be like,
camera.
what the hell? No,
And as
she's
she
gonna
goes,
start, she's gonna start preaching and that's all I'm demonic. That's all I'm saying. She don't believe.
I mean, it is, but it's more complicated than that. But that's what my
Yes.
mom is all like. She
Listen, it's
very
a
broad
spiritual world
brush.
out here,
Yeah.
and this is spiritual. It's not like mean, or we're not doing nothing to provoke it or to do anything. I'm not an
Yeah.
evil person, so I know I'm not doing nothing
Well,
to
like
get
you-
that, but it's happening.
Like you just said, the world is. I
It's
think
a spiritual
it's
warfare.
spiritual before it's even more spiritual than physical. But people are so asleep to it.
To it,
They put the
exactly.
fucking fluoride in your water and the shit in your food, and they calcify your third eye. Like he's like, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. That's all good, man. We'll catch up. We'll get you refreshed. But yeah, most people are so like zoned out. They're like, I go to work, I come home, I do this.
And they're busy. They're too busy to see that or to know it, you know?
Yeah.
Or if they do, they just close to it. They're not.
Yeah, they don't want. I mean,
Access to it.
but as much as you don't want it, it's there. It's
Yeah.
and it's more real than probably you, which is
Yeah.
it's a crazy thought. That
It is.
yeah, I don't know. I hope you find this well, Mom. But this is
Yeah.
my, It's just, it's what I think too. It's the truth of the matter. And it's also more interesting. I was just telling Davey that like even a lot of Christians, they read the Bible, and then if you bring up something like this to them,
they think it's like,
yeah, my mom would be like, I believe that a guy died and raised from the dead after 3 days, but I don't believe that. It's like, that's crazy as a Christian, because you should be the first one in society to understand like it's wild out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are all these dead bodies going? They're lingering around.
Yeah.
The thing
And
is,
there's a lot of them don't know how to go home.
energy never dies.
It doesn't.
It just
Exactly.
transforms.
It's just transformed.
Yeah.
And then if you're on the same frequency, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where our third eye is open, and we see these things and feel it. And
The frequency is a big one. Actually, like Christina's seeing a frequency medicine doctor, which is like, it's interesting. She told her like, oh, you have an issue with this part of your body. And a couple days later, she got an infection in that part of her body. It was like a bladder infection. And the lady just had a consultation with her on like Skype.
Wow.
So when you told me that the guy, he called like Arimar called, and the guy said, oh, the girl said across from you, it's like even back then, it's crazy how like they could feel through a landline, they could feel through Wi-Fi. It's wild. I was like, I don't understand how that works, but
that's why I was shocked, and I was like, what?
it's apparently it's age old. They probably did like
How does
carrier
she
pigeon
describe
before.
me, and she doesn't even know me, and she's on a phone that never, and it's not like Aidemar is sitting there describing me.
Yeah.
She literally described me, and that's what was the whole scary part and interested that made me go, what?
Yeah.
No, I gotta I gotta
Well, you
find out
got
what
to
this
compare
is.
it kind of to Wi-Fi. You can't see it, but you know it works.
But you know it works, and it's
Also, what is it doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi might be like the next smoking, where they're like, it's like this is the Wi-Fi only section over here, because it's just, we found out after 100 years it's just killing people.
yes,
It's making kids autistic.
crazy.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, back to the focus. She walks out. What happens after
So
that?
when she walks out,
Yeah.
because she didn't know how to tell us, because she didn't know how to explain it, that some people don't understand it. You
So
know?
she didn't know that you knew.
Not really.
No, that was the first time
was the
she
first
ever
time.
divulged it.
So
She thought
That's
she was
interesting.
worried we would think she was crazy.
I
Yes.
was like, yo, we are crazy.
Yeah. So she comes back in and she was like, "There's somebody here.
We're worried
There's
you're not
something
crazy.
here." And then Junior came in to ask me for something, and then I go back with Junior out in the garage, and then when I come back, they get ready to come back in. She comes out, and she's like, "Don't touch that. Don't do it, because he's very upset." And I'm like, "What? What are you doing?"
She didn't know Willie, did she?
No, she met him. She met him, but don't know him like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So remember, it's Raquel's cousin, so she knows them.
Yeah,
I didn't know
Willie's
how-
related to her.
I didn't even know how we knew her. Like just some lady. I was like, okay,
That's
hi.
Raquel's cousin, Wanda.
Another one of Titi
Wanda.
Miriam's friends. Like, hello. join the fucking line. There's 15 people here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that makes more sense now.
Yeah, so she's like, he's here and he's very upset that we're taking his things. So I'm like, what? And then she says, Willie. And then I said, my brother, because she couldn't get the concept either of that was my brother and who's who, because she's Raquel's family, but she doesn't know.
Yeah, she doesn't know the
Okay.
connections. Yeah.
So she's like, your brother, but she didn't realize that was Junior was the son. So I was like, that's his son, and I'm explaining to her, and then she goes, well, he's not happy. So she told Junior that, and Junior was like, what? But he kind of like looked at her like she was crazy.
I think
he
he
doesn't know.
I think he gets it a little bit too, though.
Yeah, but he looked at her like, and he was like, well, I got to get this out.
Yeah, yeah.
So then he wound up saying, well, I'm going to take a few boxes and I'll come back for it.
Yeah.
And he stopped, and then that was it. And then
A little preface here. Uncle Willie is a great dude, very prickly dude. Can especially when you touch his shit.
Yeah.
I know that I've seen him
Yes.
get real mad.
Yeah,
So
and
it's-
he was vicious because she was like,
Uncle Edwin was like that too, but I
different, a little
he
calmer,
would.
more.
The only time I've ever seen him mad, I organized his room when he was living in the
Oh
projects.
yeah, you couldn't touch his mess.
He didn't flip out, but that was like, I don't care when anyone else is mad at me. The audience knows, I think you guys too, because I'm the same way. I was like, oh, he's like hurt, like upset, but he didn't, he didn't show it that way. But
Touch
yeah,
his mess because he understood his
Yeah.
mess.
yeah,
And you can't clean it because
It was
he knows.
strategically organized. Yeah.
yeah. He had he would record like shit on VHS and
Yes.
like have it lined. It looked like crazy, but I was like, oh, this is actually in order.
It was in order. Everything, because when he passed, we were, putting his stuff away everything was in order. A mess, but in order. And it was so strange. We were like, all his bills, everything, ordered by date, by month, and wrapped up. And we were like, oh my God, he was so fucking boom, boom. It was so strange. We were like, and he's such a mess. Because he was like, everything was a mess. He was a mess, but everything was organized. Everything was in perfect and organized. And from A to Z, from 1 to 100, whatever. Organized perfectly. That's why his mess you couldn't touch, because whatever he had that messy like this and throwing it, it was in his mind. It was straight. It was fine. We didn't see it that way.
Yeah. But so when he passed, you never felt anything from him, or
No.
he's
No.
How about Grandma Lola?
Just seen him in my dreams and see him like that, and Mommy too. But
Mommy too. And these are these people lived in that house for a long. Uncle Edwin bought Grandma Lola that house, which is like an incredible thing to do. Mm-hmm. And they lived there from when the house was built. And they were able to just. That's actually kind of reassuring. Mm-hmm. Whatever happens, they were like, all right,
there was
next.
never no feelings of them of anything like that.
Yeah.
And Willie, it was that incident, and now you see him coming out. Sometimes the back room, the lights flicker off and on.
Yeah.
And the one that he stays in. And I'm like, hey, he goes jodiendo. But don't pay no mind. Just turn it off. I turn it on and then it turns off, and then it won't turn on real quick. And I'm like, maybe it's something loose in there. I don't care. Just leave it alone.
There's also something. Willie, he's kind of annoying.
Yeah, like he does his annoying shit to you, like
Yeah. All right. So this is very interesting. I found out a lot about my family.
Yeah. So Junior leaves. They go to get the candles. Me and Amy is in the house doing the sage all over the place. She's doing it, running from the house from corner to corner. They come back. We light the candle. We put his cross that he had, and we put it there, and we said a prayer for him so he could go to the light. And we had to leave it on for 7 days. So I would think like about the 3rd or the 4th day, it was peace and calm in the house.
Wow.
It was like nothing.
And ever since too?
Yeah, I don't.
He comes back once in
I
a
think
while.
he comes like once in a while he comes, but it's not like he doesn't stay. He doesn't bother. He doesn't do that because he was an asshole or whatever.
Not malicious.
He wasn't malicious. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just hold on, pay
Want it this way? Do it this way.
Yeah. But that's it. He's there, whatever.
It's very interesting. Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, I got a question, Dave. Who taught you how to do all these prayers and all these things like that?
I think that's Lily.
That's just
Who taught you?
no. The prayers is just you just say a prayer and
So
and
many prayers. Like, how do you know if that's scary?
I don't know. You just say a prayer. Put them in the thing. I don't. Just say a prayer.
Yeah, you say
And
what
then
you feel. But you
Amy
have to say it firmly.
Amy sort of was the one who told me you had to tell them to go to the light
Yeah.
and find their ways. Because I didn't know that, Once she told me that, then that's all I say all the time. So every time I feel a presence of anything spiritual, and Chase starts barking in the middle of the night like he's seeing something, I'll be like, get out, you don't belong here, you got to go to the light. I just say it out and I say a prayer and go back to sleep and leave it alone. And Chase is quiet and I'm like, okay.
Be gone.
Yeah, and it's something.
It's very casual.
So weird. It's like
Slightly
before I
concerning.
would get up, I would turn on the light, and I'm like, "Who's there?" And I was like nervous and I'm scared. Now I'm like, "You gotta go. You don't belong here. Go to the light in the name of Jesus. Amen. Hallelujah."
Like, the thing. I wrote it on the wall. Just read it yourself.
Sometimes I get mad because I'm half asleep, and I'm like, "Go. You don't belong here."
Tell him there's a cover charge.
Yeah.
You start charging.
I'll be like, "Oh boy."
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But they probably pay you in Bitcoin or some imaginary money. All right. Well, I think this is a good spot to wrap it. Like I said, I guess this show will serve as like a sort of time capsule for my family and friends, the people I can get in real life. I want to talk with people on the internet, whoever will talk to me about something like along these lines or whatever you think. I think it would be very interesting, and I think it was that went well.
It was good.
Yeah, and I'm glad we got Lily here to to really tie in. Tie in the results. But so that's it, man. That's the TopLobsta Show. That's episode 1. Thank you, Titi Miriam.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you guys. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's it. Wrap.